I'm gonna put this.
You ugly motherfucker.
Y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm getting ready to cut my camera off, and then shout out Scotty. What up, boy? Let me. I'm gonna cut my. Oh, okay. So hold on real quick. Let me pop the thing back on, and then I got you. Hold on. My fault, Scotty. Hold on. What? Cancel, nigga. Alright. What it do though? Let me cut the music off because we good now. I don't even need that tab. Well, I'll leave it open. Let me just go here real quick. Um, Damn. You want to know what's crazy? So real quick before we get to talk about this Epstein shit. Now, I told y'all how I want to do more the I'll do the pot of balloons, but it's never girls on the panel. So we can finish up the one from yesterday with Kicking It With Too Cool. He actually is premiering a different type of video. And then this girl, Janaea Divine, she has a Pop the Balloon video too. With 6 girls, and these girls look okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? They definitely pretty enough. But we doing this today anyway, so we finna get into this because I just want to get this shit off my chest. I mean, I'm gonna play some Instagram videos and all that too. But first things first, I wanted to talk about this one piece from Asmongold. So I'm not coming down on the content creator himself, but Asmongold is a fantastic content creator. He's been around for a very long time. I'm not sure.
Had someone hack.
I'm not sure if you know of this content creator, but I was watching some of his videos because he does a lot of in-depth stuff about the Epstein shit. And you Scotty, definitely let me know how you feel about the stuff going on in the comments. But I just wanted to talk about it because, man, this stuff going on with the Epstein thing is getting more and more crazier. And I'm not saying that I'm not like a believer or that these people are saying anything fraudulent. I'm just saying I doubt the source. You know what I mean? So, and I don't plan on being on too long with this one. I might do it and then end it and then go right into a pot of balloons. So it depends on how long we go on. But I just want to get my thoughts and shit out about this whole Epstein thing because, like I said in the thumbnail, to me it's either fake outrage, it's fake proof or intel or information. And at the end of the day, it's not finna do nothing ism. So that's where I stand with this whole thing. But anyway, we're going to get into it.
Wikipedia to modify his page. Then this person eventually died, found at the bottom of a cliff. Insane.
So this came out that there was some they changed his Wikipedia page. That he had somebody change his Wikipedia page, and to me that isn't actually damning. Like I don't really care about if that happened or not. It is what it is, you know what I mean? If he has enough money to be in all them other facets of the world, why wouldn't he change his Wikipedia page? That's not the big one that I was trying to find, but let me see if I can scroll
and
up.
remove the headline in the beginning sentence from the wiki that also stated sex offender, and now it just reads businessman philanthropist. We recorded the IP addresses of the people who were going in and changing our edits back and actually hacked the site to block them back in. That's why the site has been stable. Smiley face. An email that Epstein in 2010 describes a deliberate search engine manipulation to bury reporting on his crimes. They boosted all other
Now, the
Epstein's
reason why I bring this up, and maybe I'll switch it to the other one. Shout out to whoever else is in here watching this. The reason why I'll bring this, I wanted to pause right here, is because we already have that as content creators. So if you're telling me that he, you know, JE, or I'm gonna just call him Epps. You know what I mean? If you're telling me Epps got paid somebody to hack Wikipedia and change how he's viewed on there, well, I don't really think that that's damning evidence. And the reason why I don't think that is because, one, if you have the money, you could do it, right? Two, it's just simple code base. So you can literally call the person or figure out who the person is that's in charge of what information is displayed, send them what you want displayed, and they can literally type that up in a second. And three, it doesn't even matter how you're viewed online from Wikipedia standpoint, because Wikipedia doesn't pay you money. So he's already a convicted person at this point. He spent time in jail. This is 2010, and you're telling me that he got his Wikipedia switched to be in a more a neutral tone? Like, it, what does this, like, how does this information, one, help, and is this information even true? Because I can't go on. I would Wikipedia him, but I'm not that deep in any of this. But what does he get out of doing that? I'm not saying that he didn't do it. Again, everything I prefaced by saying, I'm not saying that he's an angel, because clearly he's not. I'm not saying that he's the worst person in the world, you know, even though I clearly think he is. I'm just saying, if you're going to tell me all these things in email chains, that most of them are, what do you call it? Most of them are redacted. I have a hard time believing what's under the redaction. Number one, and number two, where are these emails coming from? If you're telling me these emails are coming from Department of Justice, okay, but why they didn't dump everything and just let us skim through it? That's my whole thing. Hide faces and hide names of victims in the emails, but don't hide the email person who sent it. Don't hide the recipient of the email, and don't hide any of the information that's in the email. Only names of victims and photos of victims, photos or videos. That's it. That's the only thing that should be hidden. Other than that, everything should have been released at once, and everything should have been unredacted. But
to bury any direct searches for his name plus file. This is clear evidence of a coordinated, deceptive reputation control. Jeff, I'm very happy to report to you today that we have managed to get some very positive results already. This was not the case as of yesterday when we checked, so the bots may have just made their rounds, taking our work into effect. If you type your name into Google News, the first article...
see, that right there, he said bots. He's reading an email from somebody to Epps. Now, we have this issue in content creation with bots. I'm not too familiar in how these bots and these systems work, but I do know that you can pay to have people from another country or whatever kind of boost up your views or something like that, right? You can also have these bots go in and mass spam or mass report or mass play. Like, let's say you're an artist and you want to get your music hot. Well, you can pay money to these bots and have it look like you're getting traction enough that you can then go to somebody and say, hey, I'm getting a little bit of traction even though nobody fucking knows you. You're paying for the influence. And I have no issue with paying for influence because that's how the world works. That's something that I had to understand, and that's the reason why I do content, because you have to pay for influence. Mind you, if I go on this, every time I post an IG reel, or something like that, I get a little notification say, hey, this one has 200 views. Boost this so you can get seen more. So the world is out for pay. It's pay for play out here in the world. You know what I mean? So me understanding that, I'm not going to be hard pressed about this type of email, whether it's true or not, because anybody can pay for these systems. Work on payment. You know what I mean? If I wanted a girl to come over here and eat me meat up, I could pay her money. If I wanted to have my YouTube short go viral, or I wanted to run an ad, I could say I want 500,000 people to see it. Here's $500. But now, whether it has a call to action or whether I say, you know, I want to try to get them to convert, or, this demographic, I can literally tell YouTube, play my reel or play my video in a certain city, in a certain age group, in a certain demographic of people that already exists. You know what I mean? TMX, what up, boy? Yeah, man. Appreciate you, TMX, in the building.
You ugly motherfucker.
But yeah, like that, TMX, we just talking about, and we ain't gonna be too long. We'll probably be like 45 minutes, an hour. There is several Pop the Balloons now. I'm gonna have to do the other girls, Janaea's, maybe tomorrow, because she took off like all of her content. But she has one, Kicking It With Too Cold. We can finish off the episode we have from him, and he also premiered. He has his own reality TV show. Like, it's like the first episode or something like that. He's premiering it right now. I wanted to do that. And then there's another content creator who had an all-girl panel. Who the fuck was it? I know we didn't do the Love Mountain, but they had the dudes on a panel. It was another all-girl panel. I can't remember who it is. It doesn't matter, because that's for tomorrow. But definitely let me know y'all thoughts about this Epstein stuff. And like I said, I'm not here to say that the victims haven't been victimized. That's not what I'm saying. I'm literally saying the three things that's in the thumbnail. It's either fake outrage, the information that people are going off of is fake, or even if both are real, at the end of the day, not finna do nothing ism. Because that's what I notice about people. People are all outraged, and I have some Instagram clips that I'm gonna play too to back this up. People are all outraged about things going on in the world, but if nothing comes of this, it was all for nothing. All of it. It was all for nothing. You know what I mean? So we're going to let this go, and then I'm going to switch to the other video.
From last month. And as you scroll down, there were other articles. If you typed your name plus file, etc., you would get scores of results of news, blog, and
now this is somebody emailing Epps. You know what I mean? I'm going to just call him Epps. Everybody want to call him by his name. I'm going to just call him Epps.
Other entries. Now, if you type your name, you will see endless pages of Google News about every other Jeffrey Epstein, but you will not see any more news articles about you. Even if you type in your name plus file, a direct search, no documents will turn up. We did this to, and this is just, it's an email. They're just posting this. We did this to by effectively creating massive amounts of links, search engine parameters to all the other Epsteins. Of course, if new articles appear, we will have to deal with them on a case-by-case basis. We will have a Google alert on all terms, so we will catch things when they appear. This, of course, will be the main effect as the Google search, as the articles will now start coming down in relevance. We are now embarked on a very offensive similar strategy for the main web, which requires posting of new websites. Anyway, we are very pleased about this. Wiki hacked, finally changed mugshot out. It was heavily protected.
Now,
added a whole wiki hacked.
Look at that. From, what's it, AJ Sokel to Epps. Wiki Hacked finally changed out the mugshot.
Finally changed mugshot out. It was heavily protected. Added a whole new section on your wiki entry, pushing the bad stuff down on the page in wiki, even though we reworded most of it so it isn't that bad, working on the photo switch. I took out the convicted sex offender. In 2015, Seckle's body.
Now, the guy that's just in 2010 who was doing all this and helping getting his name changed or getting his likeness better, apparently ended up deleted. You know what I mean?
That's the guy. To Jeffrey Epstein from this random guy. Seckle's
Seckle.
body was found at the bottom of a cliff near his home in southern France. As of December 2021, his death remained unconfirmed by
No, see, yeah, that's just the thing. That's the reason why I have the thing I'm talking about. You're correct. Wiki isn't supposed to be able to do that. However, we know what technology is, and you know way more than I do. If there's a paragraph on a page, it literally however you got to figure out whoever's in charge of maintaining it or whatever. If you have to bypass, what do they call those cybersecurity teams who like if there's any changes or anybody penetrates the website or make any changes or gets any like data from anybody, like they have to pass these red team, I think it's called. If anybody gets past those people, these are like the fix is pretty much simple. It's just changing out the information or deleting certain things or typing in what you want. You know what I mean? Whatever the language is, whatever coding language WikiLeaks is in, it's just going to that line, going to that page, going to that user, and searching his thing, scrolling where this information would be, and just changing it out. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I don't know how to do the shit. But what I'm saying is, it should be fairly straightforward to do. Now, should it happen? No, of course. But it is what it is. Like editors on Wikipedia alone keep stuff locked down. But apparently not. And that's another reason why this whole thing with him is causing bigger issues, because the hands that he's supposedly in, the things that he has that he's into or he's had so many hands in is major stuff, and it has so many more people. You know what I mean? It has so many more people into it. I'm just here trying to say what is actually real, because I don't want to go to the website because it's kind of frowned upon. But there, if you search up email, fake email thing, email generator, there's websites that already do this, and I'm sure you already know there's websites that already can fake emails already. I was just on just because I'm learning to use SQL, right? I know how to use Excel like proficiently and stuff like that, but I'm trying to like do the whole tech thing, like learn technical skills, right? So I'm learning to use SQL, just another way that you can do like data analysis and stuff like that, right? So but before, when I was like learning Excel, I was like, well, I want to get data sets that I can do like analysis on, just trying to like figure out like how to portray a story through like charts and graphs and stuff like that. But I'm like, what type of information do I get? So there's a website called, I think it's Macaru, where you can go in there and say, it's an AI generator, or you can just type in like, I want to get product information as if I'm a big retailer about sales information. I want the name, age, gender, region it came from, and I want the SKU number and the category of the type of product it is, and then generate this information. And it generated it for me, and I downloaded it, and I only did it on like something like 200 lines, right? So I'm fooling around with it, and it generated the Excel spreadsheet, and I downloaded it. It was a CSV file. Just me telling you that and knowing that they're already email generators, somebody could email generate all this shit. I'm not saying that any of this is false, but what I'm saying is that can happen. So if there's going to be all these extra stories come out, we have to make sure that we're not just flying off the handle by saying, oh, this person did this and this person did that. You know, we need some type of definitive proof, because you telling me emails, you know what I mean? I'm not mad at Asmongold. This is not dissing Asmongold. I actually love this content creator. He's dope. I'm just saying, if you're giving me an email with something that somebody said, and I can't even trust the source that gave me the fucking emails, and they redacted everything off the rip, emails, all this, that, and the fourth, how do I then trust the information that I'm getting? Or is the information that I got pure, but it was stepped on, kind of like in a drug game? You know what I mean? The closer to the source you get, the better. But if it came to me from a website and it had to go through a clearance of other people, so many people took out emails, so many people probably put in emails, so many people cleared their own fucking name, and so many people like redacted names, so many people like, you know, like all these things. That's the issue I have. I have the issue of so many hands touching it. You know what I mean? And you can send messages to yourself and make them look like from somebody else. Exactly. You already know about. I figured out this 5-6 years ago. Just randomly, I came across it when I was trying to like learn Python and stuff like that. But I forgot how I randomly came across the email, because it was like, okay, you want to do a project when you learn how to code. So it's like create a email sifter, or create like a to-do list or something like that. But you can get it from like emails, just different things, right? And I was like, oh, there's email generators. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So, and I'm not saying that somebody could have did this over all this time, because they're saying it's 6 million emails or pages or documents. I'm not saying somebody made 6 million emails. I'm saying it's possible. But I just want transparency. And if I'm not going to get transparency from certain creators, not saying this one, Asmongold, I love you. You are a dope content creator. And I've recently found out, I knew of your name, but you know, I'm just off in my world. So I don't, only when this stuff came out, I came across your videos. I'm like, oh, you're dope. But we already have that issue in the world. And like I said on my YouTube short, we already have videos of people, of like all those things about Donald Trump, or y'all remember what's his name? MLK doing all of those weird I have a dream speeches, and he was like, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Or, you know, they got Donald Trump acting like 6ix9ine. We already have videos that are fake. Of course, half of them, you know, are like fake, when the dog dances a certain way or things like that. But some of these videos, you don't know if they're real or fake. You know what I mean? We got Kobe Bryant, you know, courtside with Tupac. If you didn't know that that video was clearly fake because they're both gone, how do you know if a video comes out of somebody doing something malicious? How do you know that it's not fake? That's my next question. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that content creators shouldn't dig into this stuff, because like I said, it's interesting to learn about it or figure it out. But I'm just saying, don't think that this is the win that you think it is. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
French authorities. What the fuck? Collaboration with Jeffrey Epstein. Around 2000.
So I'm gonna look for another one that maybe it'll show. Is it this?
Due to completely unforeseen circumstances, he has now already quit. Here's the complete crash out and more.
The song is no longer dual streaming to YouTube. It's been somewhat of a failure.
Oh, fuck.
Someone hacked Epstein's Wikipedia, and the person was
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it, motherfucker. Because it was
I can tell you that I talked to President Trump back in 2009, and several times after that, he helped me. He got on the phone. He told
Epstein's first conviction. So you remember whenever this came out?
When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant.
I can tell you that I talked to President Trump back in 2009, and several times after that, he helped me. He got on the phone. He told me things that were helping our investigation.
I now see why Biden didn't release the Epstein files when he had 4 years to do so. I don't think anybody was predicting this. This is the file. Knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil and to focus on her. Trump told blank that he would...
No, this isn't the one there's that Pam Bondi. Let me see. Let me go to my... Hold on real quick. Let me go to my history because I was watching this. Is it this?
People, because I'm going to pretend like trans men and biological women are the same athletically.
Oh, bro. Come on, I'm gonna find it because it painted a point that I really wanted to hammer down that people. No, it ain't that, bro. It could be this. Hold on, y'all. It's a really good point that I wanted to show.
Why?
Over redacted.
There you go. There you go. So I'm gonna just rewind it a little bit. This is the exact thing that I was just saying about these files. This right here.
We're the family of Keith Porter, a father of two, shot and killed by an Austin.
So is this about the Epstein files, or is it just more Democrats that are trying to launder women being raped and like they're basically like, you don't even care about this? It's amazing to me to see somebody just totally like it's so blatant that they don't even care about this issue at all. They don't give about this shit. They don't give a shit about this at all. All they care about is weapons. 10 minutes.
We're engaging in personal attacks against members of Congress. We saw your performance in the Senate, and we're not going to accept that. This isn't a game. In the Senate, you brought something with you called a burn book, a binder of smears to attack members personally.
Because we can't search
here we go.
the traffic.
Why?
By name.
Hold on. It's right here. Now, Pam Bondi is this woman. I don't know what her job title is, but she's in charge of kind of like the release of these things. And she's also said that she's seen all of the files, right? So remember what I just said about I doubt the source. Now, you're telling me these emails are real? Fine. Whatever. But if I can't verify who the chain of command that it got before it got to me, then it can't be trusted. You know what I mean? It can't be trusted. You know, and this is an example of it because this.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Yeah, why?
So there was an act put that this is how we're going to handle these files, and I don't know who needs to agree on it, but it came no consensus. Bad guys are going to be showed. The people, victims or not, basic stuff, right?
To my right is an email that was sent by the victims' lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact.
Okay.
So there's a list of names not to redact that is sent by the victims' lawyers.
A list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document.
See, right there. You're telling me that I'm supposed to be all up in the uproar for these files. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, when people are supposed to be hidden like victims, they're not. And when he's going to later say when they're supposed to be the people who actually are the bad guys, and I'm not saying anybody is anybody, because I'm not one of these overly conspiracy theorists. I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I don't trust nobody. I don't trust the motherfucker at McDonald's. I don't trust the person selling me weed if I smoked. I don't trust the food. I don't trust my neighbor. I don't even trust my own kid probably to do what, you know what I mean, to like not try to swindle me out of something. I think everybody is, like I say,
I do not look down on niggers, kikes, wops, or greasers. Here you are all equally worthless.
Everybody is equally worthless. I'm not looking down on nobody. Everybody is fallible. Everybody is at fault. In my book, how I look at it is everybody out here lying.
Document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these
How the fuck did that happen?
people did.
Exactly. Did somebody tell me? Victims are now... So, let me get this straight. The DOJ gets all these email dumps. They go through it with a fine-tooth comb. They redact everything. They overly redact. They overly black out who's at fault, who's not. We don't even get the names. We just get emails that were sent, and whatever information is in the actual email is the information we had to decipher. Then they come back and say, okay, well, we're releasing the email addresses or the names. They start releasing the email addresses. Fine. The victims are saying, here's the stuff from our lawyers, and now you put out the victims' information. Literally the people you're trying to protect, you out. And this is the thing that I'm saying, and this is the part that I don't like. When you want me as the person, not the DOJ, not Asmongold, not nobody, but as the regular human being, when you want me to be in an uproar, when you want me to have outrage, I can't even control who is combing through this with a fine-tooth comb. You get what I'm saying?
Didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name. And you...
See? Now, I can't... The sad thing is, he's saying, we know you touched the document because you redacted a name. Again, I can't prove that what he's saying even happened. I can't prove none of this. You're just he's telling me that this woman did something. She could say she didn't do it. We're at a stalemate. Now, who do I believe? That's why I say I don't care about none of this shit. All of this is beyond me. You know what I mean?
Redacted the lawyer's name.
True. So it implies that they did look at it, and it wasn't just simply oversight and ignorance. So they made a decision not to redact the... What the fuck?
But you left the survivor's name there.
You see what I'm saying? So he's saying, and I don't know, because let's just say what he's saying is true. I'm just saying, let's just say what he's saying is true. You left the survivor's name there, but you redacted who it came from.
The next document I want to show you.
Oh my God.
That was in the title. The victims, survivors' names, all right?
It says victims list, and you didn't think to redact that.
The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirators, fully redacted. And
co-conspirators fully redacted.
By the way, I'm gonna unredact them.
Oh no. Okay, this is the type. This is good. So you have it redacted, and they're just posting.
And Asmongold, what did they say? What did they say? Free. What do they say when you reviewing another content creator? Free. Fair use, fair use. You know what I mean? Fair use, nigga. You know what I mean? Don't beat me up, bruh. Don't strike my channel, bruh. I'm only just here to try to make my point, and I'm gonna get the hell about it.
Notes, and you're gonna unredact them in front of everybody. Oh, this is perfect. Here we go.
Here. Les Wexner is in this.
Wow.
Now, your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution. Not to money laundering.
Yeah, it's not like it was just, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, oh no.
Child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there.
So they know.
And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction?
Big black box.
Another redaction.
You see what I'm saying? And that's, again, like I said, that's assuming that everything he's saying is true. I don't even believe that dude. I don't believe nobody. I don't trust nobody. You know what I mean? And that's just, let's just say what he's saying is true. I don't know. Let's just say what he's saying is true. Again, I don't know. That's my only real claim to the reason why I have the title, right? And I'll probably leave it up for a day or two, see if it really gets traction with the tags that I use, and if it's kind of more or less, it doesn't really get views, and I'll just delete the live. But it's just I want to break into like making more content and stuff like that, but I have to speak about things that I want to speak about too. But again, like I said, fake outrage. So everybody has outrage for Epps, rightfully so, if that's what they want to do. But he said we missed our chance. We should have been investing in. Yeah, bruh. We should have been. Yeah, bruh. Come on, bruh. We should have been investing in that. Whatever software, whatever thing, like, bruh, that's what we should have been investing in. But again, I can't prove none of this, and I'm not even going off what he say. Like, you know what I mean? But he's saying we pressed you out for the real stuff, and we already know the names because the victims gave the names up. Now, he has that thing over there hidden. I want to know if he's going to tear down that veil. If you ain't finna tear down that veil, then all of this was for nothing, bruh. Because if you not finna do that, well, let's just see what he does.
So we can't even see them. And then there's
so it's being redacted even from Congress.
Files you've pulled down from the website
that
we will never see.
Adobe Acrobat.
Because we can't search.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or whatever, Google Slides. Or Google, yeah, it ain't Google Sheets because these ain't spreadsheets. Google Slides or Google Docs, something.
The redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track?
Thank you. And also, wasn't part of the...
Again, I didn't even really bring that up. I get what he's saying about, are you able to track who's seen the documents? Like, do you have some type of ledger of who's... like when you rent a library book, at the back we know who had it last, how long they had it, what their card number is, at what dates did they have it. We have some type of ledger of who is touching or seeing these files.
If I remember correctly, part of the bill was that every redaction had to be explained. Do you remember that? Because I remember when this was getting passed, it's either you didn't...
In your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names. Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document.
By the way, they should be able to track that. Like, if it's anything like the IRS is inside of the computer's internal systems, any modification to government data is tracked with a government ID, and every single action that's taken, web page that's accessed, and anything that's done is automatic.
Yeah, I agree. But the issue is, see, what you're saying is absolutely true, TMX. I know that those systems are already, they're logged, right? They're logged when you when you log into something, we have all that information is logged. IP addresses, locations, how long you were on there. That's one of the biggest ways that people get clearances and stuff. Like, they do it in schools all the time, you know what I mean? Where a teacher looks into who's calling, if you're a teacher, you're not supposed to look up your kids' grades. You can get in trouble or fired for that. Like, you're not supposed to look up individual students. If you're a teacher, you're only supposed to deal with the people in your class, and that's it. But if you're like staff or janitor or just front office, like, you're looking up other students. So I get that all that information is logged, and they can go through and audit it. Again, the issue is Epps had his hand in every fucking thing. So if Epps had his hand, as we just seen before in the other video, if in 2010 he had somebody change how he was viewed on Wikipedia, does he not have access to getting these things changed as well? Or if he does get these things changed, can he just fumble through logs? You know what I mean? Because again, and I'm getting ready to get off. I'm trying to see if he drops that display. But even think about it when Epps passed away. So he was in a prison when he passed away, and this is the reason why I say I don't trust none of this shit. And everybody's in fake outrage. He was in a prison. There was cameras all over the damn place. The day he dies, the cameras don't work. The other cameras don't work. It's some type of glitch or some type of... We're doing these things and we're acting as if these things are real. We know these are lies. But again, like I say, nobody wants to be truthful, and that's the reason why the world's in chaos. Nobody wants to... There's no more lies. That's why nobody believes none of this shit in the world. It literally is just going to take... You know what this world is? It's like we're all in a cafeteria. All it takes is for somebody to lob a chocolate milk over their shoulder, and then a food fight happens. But in the terms of us in America, all it takes is for somebody to just, send it, and then we're all going to be in it. And I'm not saying somebody should do it. What I'm saying is nobody believes nobody. We're all dealing in lies. There's no more space for lies in America. The problem is, even when people lie, we still listen to them. We're listening to this guy as if he ain't a fucking liar. And I'm not saying he is. Again, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying this whole fiasco. What do we believe and what do we not believe? You know what I mean? You're giving us names on a list. You redact the names. Whoever's redacting them. Then we press you out for names. We press you out for the information you release 300 million pages or 3 million pages. As we're combing through that shit. All of it's heavily redacted, but then you leave victims' names on there. Victims' images. This is why I say I don't believe nobody. I don't believe nobody. The only person I really trust, honestly, probably in this world is maybe my kids and my biological brother. That is it. You know what I mean? Wifey, I love you, but you have your interests before mine. So, you know what I mean? I trust you as far as I could throw you. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally where I'm at in life. You know, people will slime people out for money. And this is just a classic example of how nobody wants to deal in truth. Everybody just wants to continue to lie.
automatically tracked by a internal system that detects every single thing that happens. So the answer to this is obviously yes. Yes, you 100% can do this.
But again, like Asmund Gold said, is the answer yes? That's my next question. Because the day that Epps, died, the cameras didn't work. And and America's just like, oh, well, he passed. Okay, he's in a prison. Ain't like he passed in his house. Do we have the cameras? No, they stopped working that day. Oh, well, it's just, come on, bruh. Nobody believes none of this shit, bruh. I don't believe none of this shit on the screen. I believe none of it, and I'm sad to say it, but that's why I said fake outrage, fake proof, not finna do nothing is. We gonna address the not finna do nothing-ism and the fake outrage in a second.
Massey's cooking here. It's made a mistake.
This is Thomas Massey. I think he's the guy who said he's seen all of the files. So he knows the names, but I don't know if he can just say the names outright. Maybe he gets sued or something like that. I don't know.
You can see like, oh, why did you do this?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
It's not even the answer. She's answering.
Okay, we don't care. Nobody cares, bruh. Nobody cares. I don't care if he was listed once. Address the question that we're asking.
A different question.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Finish my answer.
There is no answer.
No, we're not about to sit here. See what I'm saying? Now we're gonna argue as if we're like a married couple. So now I'm wrong for pressing you out about what you actually did wrong. This is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why what you're seeing on camera. I'm about to try to fast forward this. What you're seeing on camera is literally the reason why the economy's in the shit. The relationship between men and women is in the shit. Don't nobody go to church or really believe in church because church has no power to control any of this, right? This is the reason why when I say the whole world's in chaos, because nobody wants to deal in truth. This is exactly what I mean. Now they're arguing like a married couple. Ma'am, we asked you who's in charge of this. Who's taking the L for this? Who do we fire for this? And you want to get snippy with him. Only answer the question he asked.
No. I'd say no, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, you're not even answering the question.
Come on. Let me finish my answer.
He didn't ask. Yeah, he didn't ask how fat. Like, nothing covered.
Cover up Wexner's name.
See,
he was already. You're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
We're not acting like anything. Who did it? You see what I'm saying? We don't care. Who? And this is why I have like issues with like why I say the things I say when I do the Pod the Balloon videos, because it's like, bruh, don't nobody want to put a name on it, bruh. Put a name on it. Like, put a name on it, bruh. Don't tell me who said something. Who said it? Who? Put a name on it. If not, then it's fake. It didn't happen.
Reclaiming.
Well, somebody did, because that's how it got covered.
Reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman.
This isn't how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
It's fucking bullshit. This is not this. Answer the not time. A question. Answer.
My answer.
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that?
Shut the fuck up.
It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
It's not a political joke. Like, you was asked a question and you started arguing like a little white girl. Who cares?
We'll let the Attorney General respond.
You're right, but not in the way you think.
Unbelievable, bro.
Chairman, it's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes.
You trade all of that for this? It's not about a trade. It's about it being annoying.
All right, so we're gonna get out of that. Damn, there's a good channel. This is the last video, and then I'm gonna go straight to Instagram. The truth is, the truth is. Now, I was watching this about the whole Jay-Z thing. No, hold on. Which one is it? Let me see. Because I wanted to talk about the Jay-Z thing because apparently, like, academics has an issue with Charlamagne the God about not pressing Jay-Z about the whole thing. It doesn't matter. We going to Instagram and then I'm gonna end this off because I just wanted to show some clips from Instagram and just kind of give my thoughts as to why like none of this will ever, and this is the ultimate reason why none of this will be fixed is because now how do I get to it? Okay, it is under saved. Come on now. Hold on. Let me find my saved. It's here. I'm seeing them. Let me just. Can I not see? Okay, I just had to click on it. Which one do I want to play first? We'll click this one first.
You're telling me people are so desperate to cheat that you need a referee in a football game and they're not going to be desperate to cheat in an election? To run a country? Or cheat a bank to steal the billions of dollars? Or cheat on the news to psyop a population? You think they'll cheat in a fucking football game but they won't cheat with things that matter? Are you an idiot? Why do we have a referee in a football game? Well, if you don't have a referee, people will cheat. You're telling me people are so desperate to cheat that you need a referee in a football game and they're not going to be desperate to cheat in an election? To run a country? Or cheat a bank to steal the billions of dollars? Or cheat on the news to psyop a population? You think they'll cheat in a fucking football game but they won't cheat with things that matter? Are you an idiot? Why do we have a...
Okay, so right there, right? For anybody who wants to say that, you know, and I'm not saying y'all are saying this, but for anybody who wants to think, right, that we are this pure place and that we can trust anybody else outside of the... He just put a very good question out there. A question that, like, I'm saying people don't want to address. And this is the reason why I say the things about how everything's fake and that's the problem. And it'll never be fixed. The only way it'll ever be fixed is there has to be no electricity. That's the only way it works. That stops people making robots. That stops all this takeover of other lands and like that stops all this. That stops people in suits telling other people who need to do something about, like, that stops all of this. But just the question he posed, in football, they have a referee to ensure that the other team does not cheat. If the other team is going to cheat and the referee is there to make sure that that doesn't happen, what makes you think that they're not going to do it for other things? And this is the reason why I say what I say about my message. My operating principle, if anything evil can be done, then evil the evil people are doing it. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's a great way to look at it. I agree 100% with you. And that's why I said, Andrew Tate just posed a good question. If we have to make sure that football players are not going to cheat, what makes us think that these politicians are not doing it and not going to do it for their best benefit? I've always said, and I said this in video games, right? This is the reason why video games are crap, because you have a great game like, let's say, Call of Duty, for example. You have a game and we think that players are going to play the game correctly. We're going to play the game nicely. We're going to not cheat. We're going to do what's best. We're going to play fair and the game's going to be great. May the best person win. But then you have their cheaters. There are people who are going to cheat because one, they're probably not that good at the game, or two, they just don't fucking care. They're the psychopaths of the world. So they're going to cheat. When these players cheat in a video game, they ruin the experience for everybody else. But by them cheating in the video game, they also blindly encourage the players who were playing honestly to cheat, because they realize that's the only way that they're going to get the leg up in the game. So cheating doesn't begrudge cheating. Cheating encourages more cheating by virtue of other people getting away with it. So then you're going to have more people cheat, or you're going to have people withdraw from the game. When you have more people cheat and then the people who are playing it honestly withdraw from the game, well, then the game doesn't play, because cheaters can't play against other cheaters. They don't win like that. They just it's stale. It stagnates, and that's where you're at in this world. And that's why I said we've gone the limits that we can go. I believe in human society with electricity. And the only reason why I say electricity, because I think that's the great equalizer to all of this. People are going to cheat. People are going to do what's in their best interest, which is fine. But people are going to lie, steal, cheat, kill to get ahead, or to just because they can on people. You know, and it's going to cause this world to go belly up. And that was one of the great videos. I'm trying to find the other one. Let me see if I can find it, because I've been downloading them. That's the one if you got money. Hold on, was this one?
Epstein is the creator of Bitcoin.
Wait, how? How, man?
In the Epstein files, in the emails, it states Epstein was talking about Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh. That's the code name, alias of the creator of Bitcoin. Oh my And goodness. He was mentioning it early, way before it was even a thing. There was all these billionaires before, and one of them, very famous billionaire, in an interview, he said, if you knew who was behind Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin would crash.
If you knew who was really behind Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you could to sell it. I know, 100%. If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, and you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know. Bitcoin will go to zero in a microsecond.
The Epstein files came out 3 days ago. What happened to Bitcoin?
It went down.
Crashed. It literally crashed. It's going down the fastest we've seen in a minute. Epstein is the creator of Bitcoin.
Now, I don't own any Bitcoin, right? So, from my standpoint, I could care less about the video I just showed you, right? But I have to be honest about like my thoughts about just Bitcoin in general. When all this stuff comes out against Epps, and if nothing is done to ensure that this doesn't happen again, then we're just going to have a system where we're just playing this spinning around in a circle game, and more people are going to lose while they're playing this game. Now, my thoughts on Bitcoin. I never really was somebody who was big on Bitcoin, not because I don't believe it. And this is something I actually fight against my brother about. So my brother is into the precious metals. It went down 40%. I mean, that's cool. But here's the thing. My brother, like, this is something me and my brother, we didn't spat about, but he believes like he's going to invest in precious metals. And I think that is cool to do. But I think it's like, I don't think investing in precious metals or Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is the wave. And let me explain to you why. Not because investing in those things aren't good things to invest in. Sure, they can be. I don't know. My thing is the American people will go along with anything And so you will never really get the value that you want out of it because American people will just go along with the go along. And so it'll never come to a point. He was saying, well, you know, if everything goes belly up, then everybody's going to trade in gold. I said, bruh, when it goes belly up, there's no more internet. There's no more bank. When it goes belly up. And when that happens, your gold, if it's not in your pocket, see, that's my whole thing. When it does happen, when the world goes belly up, if it ain't on your person, it doesn't exist. So that's everything from a loving relationship or a friend. That's everything from everybody that's outside your home, wherever you're at when it go down. That's all your investments. That's your retirement. All that goes belly up when it goes belly up. So all your investment in gold or silver, all that goes belly up. And then you're just left with whatever you physically have. Now, when that does happen, if people are willing to do business with other people with what you're physically selling, then fine. But I doubt that when it goes belly up, people will legitimately do business with other people with gold and silver. I think it'll just be Mad Max. I think it'll be Mad Max. It'll be the end of our civilization. And now that may be my own crooked theory. And again, like I said, I don't know. I don't proclaim to know everything. But that's just me. If I'm being honest, that's what I think will happen. That's if you ask me. So I never bought into Bitcoin. Sure, I have some other altcoins and stuff like that, but I never bought into Bitcoin because I don't think that the powers that be control everything on this earth. And as long as they're the powers that be, and I'm not saying, you know, remove them. What I am saying is as long as they're powers that be, everybody, for the most part, 80-90% of people will do what powers that be says. You know what I mean? That's what I honestly believe. I honestly believe that 80-90% of people will just do what the powers that be say. And when that happens, there is no cryptocurrency. That's just probably a way for them to launder money or some shit like that. So, I mean, you think 100 years ago we had wars and or just hundreds of years, it doesn't even really matter. We actually fought for things that actually physically mattered or physical things. Nowadays, bro, rules and laws just change overnight. I grew up in, you know, where weed was illegal. Weed was illegal everywhere. It's so crooked now that you have states that can sell weed. And I've lived in a state that I moved to Seattle 4 months after they legalized the sale of marijuana in Seattle. So we literally have states that are legally statewide selling weed, but federally it's a crime. Just let that sink into your brain. You have two competing thoughts. You have a federal crime, yet the state says it's okay. The government that is over all states says no, but the individual state says yes. How they even rectify that is beyond me. But again, that's the game we play in this country. This person says that, we allow it. This person says that, we don't allow it. It's this circular game with every type of thing we got going on in this world. And eventually it will go belly up. Now I don't know if I saved it, because Andrew Tate be flying off the handle. Let me see if hold on real quick. Let me see. Do I just press F7? Hold on real quick, because I'm gonna play something else from Tate here in a second. Turn on carrot browsing. This lets you select tech. No, I don't want to turn that shit on. I don't want to turn that on, man. Hold on real quick. I'm just trying to lower my system shit, but I'm not really.
Most people on the planet don't have any comprehension of exactly how evil and how conniving and how intelligent the people who are running this fucking show are. They make you give them half your money that you worked for, and they publicly waste it in front of your fucking face, and you still give it to them. You're calling them dumb? They tell you what fucking speed to drive out on the road. They tell you where you can and can't fucking live. You buy a house and you try and put up a shed. They come in and say, no, zoning laws. I bought this house. Ain't really yours. Property taxes, please. So what happens if I don't pay my taxes? We take it. But I bought it. Fuck you. Gimme. Everyone's a fucking slave to these people. Most people on the planet don't have any comprehension.
Right there. See, people want to think like this is going to get better. This is not, nothing is going to come of this. And this is the reason why I'm going to do probably a YouTube short about it tomorrow. This outrage about these files, although they are damning and they could be true, I don't know, because I didn't physically see the email. I'm not in control of where these email came from. I know that we already have email generators online. Like, we already have email generators. So if you want me to be in an uproar about these EPS emails, I'm not. Not about no email. But yeah, man, I just wanted to come on here and say, man, people, if you are somebody who watches my video and you're in an uproar about these the EPS emails, just go find something better to do, please. We were tricked into waiting for political solutions when we should have been building solutions. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying don't do those things. I'm saying that it's kind of too late to do those. You know? And this is the reason why I push back so much about when people have these Christian ideas, even when it comes to like love or marriage or just like about the world in general, because it's so foreign for us to have, like, it's so foreign to our DNA to live like this that it's running itself into the ground. But I also said this, the biggest reason why all this stuff happens, like, and we can't even have men in, I said this the other day when we was doing the Pot of the Moon. I said, if you want me to be in an uproar about the Epps files, why don't we be in an uproar about fixing the community or fixing the relation between men and women so that those people don't have nobody else to go to? You know what I mean? Those people, as long as everybody stays confused, they can pick kids off, they can pick people off and deal with them that way. But if there was some type of unity, then those people have that fire has no air to breathe. But that fire will always have air to breathe because people want things, and it's people's own selfish, they gotta have what they want, that is literally driving this force of, slavery. It's like the hamster wheel. The hamster is on the hamster wheel chasing after something it will never get. Realizing that the more it spins on that hamster wheel, it's further enclosing itself into never getting off the hamster wheel. And no matter what we tell the damn hamster, you're making it worse for yourself by just being on the hamster wheel. The hamster won't listen because he just thinks it has to get whatever that dangling thing is. And for women, they want gifts, trips, stuff like that you weren't guaranteed, you were never supposed to just have. Now, if you came across those things or the husband you had can get them, fine, good for you. But you're not owed those things in a relationship. But we can't tell them nothing. Same way we can't tell dudes the opposite. We can't tell dudes that, oh, you're not just entitled to her body or living this way or like having millions of dollars and stuff like that. You actually got to do something, work for it. But nobody wants to put skin in the game, so it's going to just continue to be like this. Yeah, but each day you can take a single step. Yeah, exactly. But that's an individual plight. That's an individual journey. But not everybody is doing that. We got 1,500 dudes doing it and 50 million people not doing nothing. You know what I mean? And the 50 million people not doing nothing is literally making it worse. The example I just gave you with the cheating. You have a small group of people cheating and a large group of people trying to play the game honestly. But the people who are playing the game honestly keep running into a cheater. So eventually, the person playing the game honestly has a choice. Either I cheat like them or I don't play the game. But I can't just play the game because I'm going to get cheated on or hacked on. And so the guy who's doing it honestly is stuck. The people who are living life honestly, the taxpaying citizen who's trying to live life honestly is stuck. Well, I'm trying to do it the right way. I'm trying to do it the quote unquote Christian way. I'm trying to do it the righteous way that I believe. You know, whether or not that's right or wrong or exactly how it's supposed to be done is another story. But I'm trying to do it the righteous way or the way I think it should be done. The honest way, to not step on nobody's toes way. And I'm running into cheaters. But I don't want to cheat. So what do? Do I just... Some people give in. You know, some people take that carrot. They make that deal and they deal with it that way. Fine. I'm not here to pass judgment on who does what. I'm only here to say that not finna do nothing-ism is the biggest thing. But here's the last video I just kind of wanted to show, and it'll bring the point home.
What I'm saying is the young man who's going to work every day, paying his taxes, struggling to afford rent, living in a town which is getting more and more crime-ridden, living in a town with all these liberals who are turning to socialism and communism and supporting the Somalis and fighting ICE because nobody else has any money and everyone else is on welfare and everyone's frauding, everyone's stealing from the government, NGOs are stealing, no FBI raids on the Somali daycares. You're a young 20-year-old man. You're going to work every day. You're struggling to pay your bills. Somalis are getting billions from the government. None of them are in chains. You're told to continue to pay your taxes. Shut up. And like, how long do we think people are going to get fucked before they say, no, this is bullshit? The social contract in the West, whether we like it or not, is broken. The social contract is...
Yeah, see? Like I just said, you have... It's the Call of Duty thing all over again. You have people who want to play the game honestly. You know, we live on this world. We want to do the game honestly. We want to have what we want, and we want to be honest about it. We want to live life good. We want to live good lives. But we can't do that because there's a handful of people over here cheating. And the people who playing the game honestly, the plebes, right? The noobs, they're just going to keep filing into and getting cheated on. So like I said, they have a choice to make. Do I cheat like everybody else? Or do I just not play the game? You know what I mean?
Broken. Young men who do the right thing are not being rewarded for doing the right thing. And we...
This is exactly what I'm saying. As long as... And I'm not saying that there's no fix for it. Again, don't ever think that I'm suggesting that there is a fix for it. I do think that there's a way it kind of, this auto corrects itself, but that day probably will never happen. I don't know. Maybe in my lifetime, I don't know. But like I said, the only way I see it happening is there's always going to be, even if we went back to sticks and stones today, there's always going to be murder. There's always going to be, people pillaging. There's always going to be beef. There's always going to be, we're going to go over there and take what they got and stuff like that. That's always going to happen. That's human behavior. That's a fact of human life. You know? Now I need an ending thing, whatever possible. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there will always be war. There will always be beef. There will always be somebody dying at the hands of somebody else for a reason. That is never going to not happen. That is a human. It's like anger. It's a subset. It's like a larger picture of anger. Anger is a human emotion. It is a human emotion, just like pain is a human emotion, just like love or joy or glee or happiness. These are human emotions. On the extreme end of anger is war, death, killing, stuff like that. That will always be here. That is a human emotion, right? So even if we go into a time where the only thing I ever see that rectifies this our whole existence and makes it back to square one is no electricity. That is the single only thing I see happening. Not because it makes everybody better. The only thing I see happening out of it is men and women have to now turn inward. And actually, like, the men have to turn inward and say, oh, well, now I have to just do for family. Everybody else will have to do for themselves. And once people realize that in their head, then they realize, oh, I can't just want to party and bullshit if I'm a guy. I can't just want to have a whole bunch of baby mamas if I'm a guy. The girls too. I can't just have 3-4 different baby mamas if I'm 3-4 different baby daddies if I'm a girl. I can't just not be with nobody. I have to be like in some type of group. I have to be a part of somebody's life. And the only way that happens is no electricity. Because once that happens, then that makes food go extinct. So now everybody's gonna be you ain't gonna have everybody out here fat and obese. You're gonna have people out here starving, but they're gonna learn how to work the land like their forefathers and their lineage all the way back to the Bible days did. That's what they're gonna have to learn to do, learn the land. 2, they're gonna actually have to learn how to get along with each other and learn how to do business or barter or like something. They're gonna have to learn to get along with each other. And 3, they're actually gonna have to what's like a byproduct of it, like people are gonna breed because they're gonna have children and stuff like that, but they're gonna have to actually have families, so they're gonna need community. Not a really big community, because the government is essentially like a really big community. I'm saying a community of less than, I don't know the exact number. I've heard somebody says when you have anything over 3,000 people, it gets too big. I'm saying maybe 5,000 or something like that, where one person can kind of be like, or there could be a group of people who are like in charge of making sure everybody does for everybody. But I'm saying 5,000 people is like the max number of a community where everybody, you know enough faces that you can get along. There's enough different bloodlines mixed in there that there's not like heavy incest stuff going on. It's a nice little mix of leadership from a group of people, elders and stuff like that. It's a nice border of even the leadership at that point can't get out of pocket, because 5,000 people can easily topple a group of 10. You know what I mean? Especially with no weapons. That's why I said without electricity, there's no weapons. There's no, M4s, stuff like that. There's no stuff like that. So it's back to sticks and stones, swords, shit like that. That's what I honestly think. That's the limit. That's the grandest that humans are supposed to live. That's enough people to, okay, all the young men who are anywhere between 10 and 18, once you turn 10, okay, you ain't around your mama no more. You around other men. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the age where it's like that. That's what I believe, though. Now, I could be wrong. Again, I don't proclaim to know everything, you know what I mean?
I'm not sitting here saying I know. I don't know, but I know you don't know either, bitch ass nigga.
I'm not sitting here saying I know it. I'm just saying what I believe to be true, or how I believe it would best work.
You think they're going to continue to do it? They're turning to socialism because they're revolutionaries. They're turning to anti-Semitism because they're revolutionaries, because they feel completely lost, because we've given them nothing. Even the most basic thing. Fuck giving them houses and money. Forget that. They can't even get a girlfriend, bro. They can't even get a girl in Miami. The girls their age want men twice their age who are millionaires. These men are lonely, they are depressed, they see no way out, and this ends one way. What I'm saying is the young man...
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
Smoke your ass. Listen, the Bible's a classic.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying it is going to happen that way. I'm just saying this is what I honestly believe would happen. And unless people as a whole decide they want to do something about it, well, then there's nothing much that can be done, if I'm perfectly honest. What is this one? Hold on.
Most people on the planet don't have any comprehension of exactly how evil and how conniving and how intelligent the people who are running this fucking show are. They make you give them half your money that you worked for.
No, that I played that one already. I was looking for one more from him. I saved another one. It wasn't this one.
Why do we have a referee in a football game? Well, if you don't have a referee, people will cheat.
And then I played that one.
But most people on the planet don't have any comprehension of exactly how evil and how conniving.
So it's the same thing, just two different sounds on it. But yeah, man, like I said, I wasn't gonna be on this joint too long, so that's about to be the it for this show, man. I'm finna hop up off this. Tomorrow we will do a Pop the Balloon. Let me see, cause I can show you the Pop the Balloon joint. You know what I mean? And it was actually lovely ladies on it. So there's this. Hold on.
I created Queens of the City to highlight true queens. Now, see, a lot of times we get mixed and mingled in the ratchet TV. This ain't ratchet TV. This is to highlight real, pristine, model, polished women who have a platform, who have a business, who have their own mind, and can lead under pressure. That's why I created Queens of the City.
So yeah, we gonna be doing this tomorrow, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to get that, you know, going. And like I said, I'm I don't know if you was here yesterday. What you call Laughing Man was here. He was telling me to do the Discord thing, and you know, I downloaded I have Discord, so yeah, I'm gonna be over the weekend, I'm gonna be getting my Discord up, and I'm gonna be trying to fool around with it, see what I can do. But yeah, man. He said hair and nails. Yeah. You know, definitely, man. And I definitely, like I said, I'm just bringing different stuff to the channel and, you know, pushing my ideas out, and who knows where it'll be. Things are, my life is always, the last 3-4 years have been like up and down. It's been 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's been like, I'm right at 500. You know, if I was an NFL team, I'm right at 500. I'm not a shitty NFL team, but I'm not competitive nearly enough to be in the playoffs. I'm right at 500. And it's been bothering me, but it is what it is. You know, things are starting to look up for me. So I definitely just appreciate y'all, you know, appreciate you, Scotty, all y'all sticking with me. But yeah, man, tomorrow we gonna get on this Queens of the City and see what that's about. And shout out to bro. He's got a Pop the Balloon coming on, and what you call it? And I think I'm gonna try to. He's doing one in Louisville, so I'm gonna try to come out to his Pop the Balloon and just meet with him, get some content to the channel, and just see what we got going. But anyway, like I said, that's gonna be it for this video. Shout out to you for yeah, man. Appreciate you, TMS. You know, got real love for you, man. Shout out to you.
You ugly motherfucker.
And shout out to Scotty for coming through. My man Scotty dipped off though.
You ugly motherfucker.
You know what I mean? But yeah, again, man. Yeah, man. We just keeping going, keeping moving, and having fun, and you know, seeing what we can make out of it. But every day is a different, you know. I'm gonna bring more and more stuff to the channel. But yeah, man, got love for y'all, man. And anyway, that being said, just I'll be here tomorrow, and we'll see what comes of it. But I'm gonna hop out of here and get some rest. So man, peace.